Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of the Unbreakable Her podcast, where we make space for the stories of resilient women. Today, we are starting a series on fathers. Last month, for the month of May, we did a series covering or celebrating mothers through their sons' eyes. And so, certainly wouldn't be fair if we didn't celebrate dads too for the month of June. So, all month, all of our episodes will be highlighting dads. I'm going to be monopolizing those episodes because I have two dads, and you're going to learn about my dads, but also you're going to get to meet people who maybe you haven't met before. So first up, I have my sister. This is my only sister, who's my only sibling who's older than me. But if you haven't been around at events, stuff that I've done, then you might not have seen her. So I'm getting to introduce her to my folk. So we have joining us for this first episode in the series. I think we're gonna call this series "That's My Dad." Our first guest in this series is my sister Cherie, but I don't ever call her dad. We call her Wezzy. So this is this is Wezzy. Thank you for being here with us.
You're very welcome. I love to everything.
So here's what's cool about this story, right? So I said I have two dads, and let me explain. So I have my first dad. This is kind of how I refer to them. My first dad, and then my birth dad. My first dad is actually our my younger brother's dad, and me and Wheezy share this dad, and our brother. We share him, but he is not either of our bio dad. So this is it's cool when you really think about it. So I'm kind of walk you through a little bit of like the timeline. Well, we're going to walk you through a little bit of the timeline, but Wheezy comes first. So he, our dad, Greg Robinson Sr., dated Wheezy's mom before he met my mom.
Mhm.
And actually, why am I trying to explain it? You're here. You can explain it. Like, how do you remember dad coming into your life?
So, hearing the stories growing up, my sisters, my mom, my aunts, our uncles on dad's side told me the story. This is what I was told that when my mother came to Philadelphia from Delaware, she met dad and they became good friends. And I believe she was pregnant with me when they met. And of course, she had me and he was around. And I was months old, maybe 2 months old, and he decided that he wanted to be my dad because my biological father was back in the other state of Delaware or wherever he was living at the time. So, him and my mom, I guess, decided that was cool. I guess back in that time, times was rough, whatever the case may be, but Greg, our dad, wanted that responsibility uh, to be a father and to have a child. So my mom was with it, and it that pretty much sums it up of how it all started. And then I remember a story that my mom telling our dad, "Don't let that happen to my daughter now," because he took me. He took me right away to his mom, and that's all they knew. They didn't know if it was or it wasn't. They just knew that this was Greg coming around with a baby, and that's his daughter. And that's how it started.
That is so that is so dad. Like
Yeah,
it's so
it's like he brought
interesting. Like
he found a puppy and
just
brought it home. "Hey, here's the puppy." Maybe that's
it's
why he got
insane.
you know?
Yeah, but it's so interesting though, because that really, like, once he made that decision, that was, he decided, like, you can't, to this very moment, you
Mhm.
cannot say to him like, oh, that's not, those aren't your real
Yeah,
daughters, or like you're
yeah,
not their real dad.
yep,
You, if you want to make him mad, say
mhm,
that.
yeah,
Like, that's what it'll be.
that's what
So
it'll be.
this is where this is a story gets interesting, because so dad and your mom were together for however long, like I don't know the timeline,
Yeah.
then at some point they're not together anymore. But
Mm.
that means nothing for the fact that like that's your dad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good thing too, because whatever happened, through their life at that time, it never changed anything between me and him.
So eventually he gets to the point where he dates my mom.
Yeah.
And then when they're together, she becomes pregnant in the context of their relationship with Greg. So Greg
Yeah.
is the junior, he's our younger brother. Now, what happened was we all lived together
Mhm.
when Greg was born. So like leading up to him being born. And it's the same, it's very similar. Like when he found out my mom was pregnant, he actually took my mom back to my grandmom's, so like to her mom's, and was like,
Mhm.
look, I'm going to like get things together so that like I can take care of them. So like just, take care of them for a little bit. And then I would, because at that point, it's not just, oh, my mom's pregnant with his baby, but it's me and my sister Amanda.
Yeah.
So he's coming into it. On his side, he has you, and on her
Mhm.
side, she's got two, and now they're about to have a baby.
Yeah.
So when we end up moving in together, I probably like right before Greg was born. And
Mhm.
then like I will never forget this. So Greg is 6 years younger than me. Yeah.
Mhm.
6 years. So I will never forget. We all lived in the house together. He wasn't like it didn't feel odd. And I remember he was leaving out for work one day
Mhm.
and it was early. So it wasn't time for me to leave for school yet. And I watched him going down the steps. We lived on like a third floor apartment or something. And I asked my mom, because I remember this. I had this sort of urge to be like, bye, dad.
Mhm.
But I was 6 years old, so I already knew he wasn't my father. Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I told my mom, I asked her, I was like, can I call him dad? Like, it was like, is this normal, weird, whatever? And she said, you can ask him. And so that was it.
Yeah.
And from then on, it was dad. And
Mhm.
when because they were off and on, and
Mhm.
they like each other this minute, they don't, that's their
Yeah.
business. But through all of that time, that's my dad.
Yeah. Yep.
That's just what
Yep.
it was.
And
So I got my first dad at 6.
yeah. I didn't know another man. I didn't know I had another dad until maybe I was like, maybe 5, in between 5 and 8,
Hmm.
or younger than that. And I've seen this person, but I didn't see that person. The only
Yeah.
man I ever knew as a dad was dad.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So,
So like eventually they broke up, but again, that the relationship just, it didn't fracture. It was when it was like, when they when they're fussing about the kids need this or whatever, it wasn't like your
mhm.
son needs this, it was like the kids, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
always included in that. um
Absolutely.
the one thing I want to really point out that is so funny to me
Mhm.
is the fact that our moms get along.
Yeah.
That is so funny to me.
Yes, and I love it. I love that. I love
And
that.
I just remember, I remember, I don't, it's like I don't ever remember the like the beginning of it. I just remember
Mhm.
Wheezy being there, and this is your sister. I don't remember anybody telling me. I don't remember
Mhm.
anybody saying it. I don't remember any big introduction.
Mhm.
And it was like, oh, this is Wheezy's mom. This is Miss Shirley.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
she is just, let me just say for the
Mhm.
audience,
Mhm.
she is just the sweetest person. Like
Yes.
she's such a sweetheart.
Yes.
Um, and my mom love her some Wheezy.
Yes. That's my mom too. I don't care what nobody says. My mother.
Yeah, so this is like, this is our family.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome, but I
It's
have
like,
a
all right,
backstory. I have a
okay,
backstory about our moms. I don't know if I wanna
okay.
talk about that now or later, because
No, go for it.
I'm scared. The little ratchet story.
No, sorry. If it's too ratchet, we'll edit it. It's fine.
Okay, but it's okay. So my sister, my oldest sister,
Mhm.
was with my mom when they were younger, and um, I think your mom pulled up on my mom, right? This is what I was told from my
Okay.
oldest sister,
Okay.
and they was going back and forth about dad,
Mhm.
and about the baby.
Mhm.
And your mom was giving my mom some rhythm, some words, and my
Mhm.
mom started giving her some words because, again, my mom was not that type of person that'd be like, "What?" But they just was going back at it, and
Mhm.
it wasn't nothing like real dramatic. It just was, whatever, whatever. But it
Mhm.
was funny that when I hear the story, my sister tells me that, yeah, that happened, and of course they solved whatever the issue was
Mhm.
because my mom was basically saying like, I don't even deal with the man. So don't, you
Don't
have
even
no
pull
worries
up over
about
here.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have no worries about me. So
Mhm.
that was that. Yeah. And then I do remember, I think I do remember when I kind of first met your mom too. Dad, of course, brought me around.
Mhm.
And I remember him holding Greg in his hand like, this your brother. And, your mom was there. She was
Mhm.
always kind to me, always
Mhm.
kind to me, no matter
Mhm.
what, always kind.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was just a little back end.
Yeah.
But
No, I
yeah, that ladies
yeah.
go through. Yeah, and this was a long, long time ago.
Yeah, and it's just that's that was part of it. That was
Yeah.
part of the this my
Mhm.
man. You
Yeah. Yeah.
it was the drama
Yeah.
of the moment, right?
Yeah.
So, but they definitely just overcame it because
Absolutely.
we were literally raised together. Like when dad got us, like it was all of us.
Yeah.
We were, and then, dad was always going, this is what's funny. Every girlfriend he had, he always like, especially when we were younger, he always made sure, like, he was like, yeah, y'all have to meet them.
Yeah. Yes.
And we would give our opinions.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
Hence
But
say, Daddy Laddie was around.
so Daddy Laddie is our dad's I don't know
That's
what to
his
call
player
it.
name. Let's keep it 100. That was his player name
His
back in
his player name, Daddy.
the
He literally even had it. So our dad used to have a mint green Geo Metro
Mhm.
convertible,
Mhm.
and it had Daddy Laddie on the
Mhm.
uh on the license plate. And
Mhm.
so yeah, that was that. You're exactly right. That was his player name,
Yep.
and that's how we moved.
Yeah. And I don't know if it's because, he had a lot of brothers. Is the
Hmm.
what, 6 of them?
Yeah,
7
at least
brothers?
seven, seven, six,
I think it
so
was 7.
a lot.
So, yeah, it was 7 because it's 9 altogether.
Hmm.
So I guess, they probably had to see who was the the biggest mass of them all. They were all
Yeah.
handsome. They were all handsome. Of
Yep.
course, our dad was the oldest.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, he got it
He
naturally. Got it naturally.
Yeah, they were running. The Robinsons were running Wanamaker Street,
For real.
in West
The
Philly.
whole
That's
area. The whole
that's
area.
100% the truth. I mean, it's still true, really now.
It is.
Like
It is.
that's just what it is.
Yep.
So what can you share about just some of the things that um or like how would you describe dad to somebody who doesn't know him, never met him, doesn't know anything about him?
I would describe him as a strong man. A strong man who definitely, I'll say like a provider that um I could say he's stern, but definitely a provider into his family.
Mhm.
There's a lot of stuff I could say, but for the most part, he is a good stand up guy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think one of the things that I started to understand as I got older, and this is in relationship to really all three of my parents, is that
Mm,
they were navigating a time in the world that is like that we didn't have to navigate. Like it's
mhm,
or is it was a time that we like things that we didn't understand.
Yeah.
at the time.
Mhm.
That it is no secret that dad dealt with addiction, and
Mhm.
when he the fascinating thing about it is when my mom was pregnant with our brother, that is when he was just like, "Yeah, I'm going to get clean
Yeah.
because I gotta get my life together." Right. And
Yeah.
so, and he just did it.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like there were there have been no relapses. He's just like, I'm that's not my life anymore.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah,
you
my
say
mom
like he's
mhm.
strong, that's definitely something that comes to mind.
Yeah, my mom always talk about that too, like the past. She don't really like to talk too much about it, but it was just things that a lot of Black women and men did at those times in the '80s, growing up in the '80s and the
Mhm.
'90s. They did recreational,
Mhm.
um, and I'm just thankful that a lot of them overcame that, where so many people didn't.
Yep.
So many kids was left behind because their parents were addicted to things,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
our parents came up out of that.
Could
We
have.
we probably wouldn't have never even seen them if they didn't decide to get themselves together and say, "I have these kids, I have to, do better."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that definitely does speak to his a level of strength.
Mhm.
Um and he's a military veteran. He was
Yeah.
in the army and then the army reserves for a total of like 28 years.
Yeah.
Something real long like that.
Before yeah.
Um and so so when one of the funniest things about growing up with dad is he's now you can speak to this about you, but for me,
Mhm.
I didn't experience dad being cheap with
Mhm.
me. Like with like getting me things, or like he wasn't cheap about getting things for me. He was real cheap with Greg.
Mhm.
Like super cheap.
Mhm.
But for me it was
Unconventional.
like you can get whatever you want.
I didn't ask for much. I wasn't the
Mhm.
child to be like, "Oh, I need this, I need
Mhm.
that." I roll with the flow. It was what it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah.
I don't remember asking for much or
Yeah.
even receiving much. Even to this day, I don't
Mhm.
ask for nothing. I don't
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm
That's
more
very much your
so
character for sure.
yeah, I'm just more so, like, family oriented.
Mhm.
It's all about the love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, one thing I learned about dad, I actually learned this about him from paying attention to grandpa
Mhm.
and like his father and how he whenever we would just stop by grandpa's house. It wasn't like we spent a whole bunch of time over there. Like when he lived on some small street that was near my grandma, me and Greg would like stop by when we'd be walking to my grandma's house. And
Yeah.
so, but when we went there, he was either going to hand us money, which would be
Mhm.
like $1, $2, something like that, or a candy bar.
Mhm.
So later on in life, I started to understand that like dad doesn't necessarily think about parenting outside of the what can I do or give.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it, that's more so his mindset
Yeah.
when it comes to parenting. So if it was like, you know, hey, like your kid really needs you like emotionally, I
Mhm.
don't think at least at least when like growing up, I don't think that was something that he was leaning into
Yeah.
like when we were younger.
Yeah. I wonder if that a soft spot for him
Mhm.
because I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder if that a soft spot, reason why we never got that type of attention. Hmm.
Yeah. Because and I'm thinking about it just in the sense that most of us parent the way we were parented.
Yeah.
And so if he didn't grow up with like emotional security and safety being part of parenting, then he
Mhm.
maybe wouldn't have known to do that,
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
and it's something that he didn't have.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I agree with that.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give a story about I'm gonna tell a story about something that happened with dad. And I'm just talking about like how this there's no like script for us talking. So do you remember that apartment that he had on 52nd, what was it? Spruce Street?
Yes.
Okay. So remember when he was dating the one from Harrisburg?
Yes.
and we
Yes.
really liked her.
Yes. Mhm.
And then when they broke up, we were like, "What are you doing? Like, come on, dude! Like, you're ruining our lives." She was
I know, 'cause
nice.
you broke up with her, like, she broke up with me now, you know?
Exactly, exactly.
How
Like,
you do
come
that?
on. So I remember one time, I want to say, yeah, it had to be me and Greg. So this one day,
Mhm.
Miss was cooking
Mhm.
in this apartment, which is like galley style. It's like a long
Yes. Yes.
hallway, right?
Yes.
So she's in the kitchen, she's cooking, and she's cooking bacon,
Mhm.
and the pan like catches fire.
Mm.
And instead of it's a grease fire.
Oh, wow.
And instead of like smothering the fire, at first she started to throw water on it. And then
Mercy.
that made the fire get bigger.
It's
So she
bigger.
took the pan off the stove and dropped it on the floor. So now it's a tile floor in a rented apartment, kitchen tile. And now it's on the floor and she doesn't know what to do. And she's like, ah, ah. And so she gets you. Dad had this it was a big giant comforter, like this big blanket that was it was from the army.
Mhm.
And
Oh.
she covered the fire. She
Mm.
put the fire out with his army blanket.
Oh. Oh. Was he there?
It was
You said it was just
I feel like he went out. Like I feel like he
mhm.
wasn't in the house.
Mhm.
Um and she was all panicking and of course like we didn't know what to do and then he just came back and he was like, "Well, what did you why'd you use the blanket?" And she was like,
Yeah.
"Well, I didn't know what else to do." So for the whole rest of the time he lived in that apartment, there was this
Mm.
in the on the kitchen floor, the tile was burnt out.
Mercy.
Yeah.
Mercy, honey.
So I remember him being real frustrated, like real mad about that blanket.
I bet.
But those were the things that would happen. Like it was just so random. Like
Mhm.
my experience being with him, it was just random stuff. Like it
Yeah, mine too. Honestly, it was random stuff. Like growing up again, I would see him periodically throughout the years. He would just pop up. I would see him, then
Mhm,
I wouldn't see him. I would see him,
mhm,
then I wouldn't see him. But it was always happy times when I seen him.
mhm,
I was very happy. And this is as I have gotten older now, because when I was younger, he would get me. I would go to the block, and it would always be me, Yana,
mhm,
and Karen.
mhm,
Like growing up. And then as I got older, I think how I started coming around with you guys, like once Greg was born, little Greg, and he started bringing me around. And then I think as your mom seen if that I was mature enough to go to the house and be with y'all, that's why you would stay like you was there. Because I
mhm,
kind of feel like we didn't have cell phones back then. I was
mhm.
told some kind of way to go check on y'all. And
Okay.
yeah, that's what would happen. I was in once I got over to high school and the area you guys was in, I was in the same area. So I remember
Mhm.
a lot of times leaving school, coming back up this way, but stopping by to check on y'all first. And then I would go on my way.
Oh,
And yeah, yeah, a lot of times it was like that. That's why I was like,
yeah.
what are you doing
Yeah,
here?
she's
I'm
just
like,
here. Like,
I'm
"Hey,
following up
hey."
on y'all. Like,
Yeah.
what y'all doing in here?
That would
I
explain
can
it.
see it in my mind right now, so vivid.
Yeah.
Of y'all, especially when y'all was around not too far around the corner from me on Delancey Street.
Mhm.
You guys was still small, and I would go around here check on y'all. Yeah,
Yep.
I had
You
to.
know, one thing I forgot to point out is that even though me and you were are not his biological children, all three of us have April birthdays,
Yes,
which is
yes,
wild.
yes,
You're the 12th, Greg's the 13th, and then I'm the 28th, which is just
yes,
crazy.
yes. It's like
It's like
perfect.
it's like, oh yeah, he was always gonna be our dad. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like it kind of feels like that.
yeah,
Um for can you think of a time where like you needed dad, like you needed him for something? It like whether it was like to do something or to get something or whatever, and like you called him and he was just like there for you.
yeah. My wedding day, when I Besides, I think me when I was younger, I was sick. I had asthma really bad, and I had eczema. So I guess my mom would call like to bring medicine or emergency rooms like that. But the most time that I needed him when he came was when I got married. I was like, "Dad, I need you. I'm getting married. I need you to walk me down the aisle," stuff like that. Yeah, so when I needed Dad the most, well, not the most, special time where I needed him was when I got married, and, that's when I met his 2nd wife.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Don't say that lady's name.
Oh, I apologize. Mm.
But what's interesting, so you want to know, do you remember us talking about, I know me and Greg did, and I feel like we definitely talked about this. The
Mhm,
fact that when he got married to his second wife, we
mhm,
were like, we didn't, it just didn't make any sense to us
mhm,
because
mhm,
she was thin.
mhm.
It was like we didn't,
That's new, you know?
we definitely were talking about this. Me, it was like this doesn't make any sense because we're just used to we were used to him being with women that had more shape
Yep,
to them. And
yep.
then he
Yes.
went and married a thin woman. And it was just kind of one of those things where it was like, well, it's his choice. Your mom, my mom, right
Mhm,
now, if they go to a Robinson event, it's
mhm,
all love.
mhm.
All dads, siblings, the whole family loves them.
Yep. Because you can't tell nobody on the Robinson side that we ain't his kid. You can't
Exactly.
tell
Yep.
nobody that. You can't tell nobody that. So
Hmm. I don't feel the need to be. I don't feel the need to like sugarcoat things and like make things different than they are and were. I think that's a good man. Like
mhm,
I don't think that changes because it was a little awkward, especially because he was navigating like being a dad because he chose to be our dad, but he's also
mhm.
navigating the other parts of life too.
Yeah.
Um and so it wasn't always, it wasn't always easy. And the one thing that I always felt like we were like me, you and Greg.
Mhm,
I felt like, like we're his family.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Like whoever
Definitely.
he marries,
Mhm.
that's his business.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
But
where you're
like,
going.
you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like we've been here and
Yes.
we're not going anywhere.
Nope.
So,
Nope.
dad's dad is a serial monogamous. Like he can't be alone. So like he
None of them
finally
can
gets.
though. I've noticed that, like, none of them can be. I don't know if that's because they grew up in the house with a mother and a father,
Mhm.
but for the most part, our uncles, they have a lady with
They
them.
all attached. Yep.
Yeah.
I've paid attention to that with that. Is like
Mhm.
he can't really be by himself.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when
'Cause
he
every time he would come to me in these periodic moments of the years, he had a different girlfriend every
Mhm.
time. I just be like, as I'm getting older, and I'm like, "Well, who was this?" It was always a different lady.
Mhm. That's daddy
Goodness.
laddie.
And he was claiming them, honey. And then I guess
Always.
so he wasn't no more.
Right. Yeah,
I remember this another girlfriend he had, and I just felt so bad for her. She was so nice to us too. I mean,
which one?
do you
I
remember
don't
her?
remember her. I don't remember her.
I think she lived out, was she in Harrisburg as well? I
Oh, I
think she
don't
was
know.
too.
I only remember Miss Luzzy, and then I remember Peaches.
I remember Peaches. Yeah, but he had a lady named Pat too. She was very nice too.
Yeah,
And of
I don't
course,
remember her, but I definitely I trust it. He did have some nice ones, but he just chose not to. He just chose to. Never mind.
and
Um,
then when this lady called me, she said, I felt so bad. She said, "Your dad dumped me."
oh no!
You know how bad I felt? And I was very young too at the time.
Did
I was
she
like in my
really?
young 20s. Yeah.
Oh,
Just was
so
like,
you had formed like a bond with her?
yeah, yeah.
Oh man,
because I was up there a couple times with them. I'm just like, well, what you done did now, sir?
Oh yeah, he did have a second Harrisburg girlfriend.
Yeah, her name was
Yes.
Claire, and she had like
Yes.
artwork.
I remember
Like all.
her.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah,
Yep. I
yeah.
didn't remember her name. Yep, I do remember
Mhm.
her. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was he was always gonna have a woman. That's just
Mhm.
his
Yep. He gotta have.
yeah.
Guess the Joseph
That's
Mary. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean he got out of that one. Yeah, he got married again because that's what he gonna do. Like it's no it wasn't like, oh yeah, dad's just gonna be a bachelor. Never
Yeah.
gonna happen. Never. It was
That's
never gonna
about.
happen.
I wonder what that's about. You know, I
Yeah.
think we should
I don't know.
spend because this is kind of cool talking to you right now,
Mhm.
and we will have more information on stuff. Dad talks about the same story about why he did this and that. It'd be the same story. Then he
The
bring
same.
up, yeah, and I'm like, no, you need to hear from us so that you can have an understanding on how we feel because you keep talking about how you feel, and why you did these things. But
Mhm.
a lot of those things don't make no sense. Okay, Papa? So you should listen to us and hear our story sometime.
Greg, I think it would be funny to get the three of us, like me, you, and Greg,
Mm-hmm.
and talk too, because Greg has a whole different perspective
I know. I
of
know.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think ultimately, like I was and have always been very, very appreciative of. I didn't meet my bio dad until I was 31.
Mm-hmm. I
So
know.
so
I
dad
know.
was my only dad,
Yeah.
for all that time. And for all his flaws, um he chose to be my dad. Like that's kind of where I land with it, is
Mm-hmm.
like he could have very easily just been like, that's not
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
not my child. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he didn't do it perfectly.
Well,
He
but
didn't do it
too, to
well in a lot of
show.
spaces, but
So for
yeah.
the most part, to sum it all up, with Dad, I mean, I truly, 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 truly love him. But you know, for everything he's done, it doesn't matter if it
Mhm.
was two or three things or
Mhm.
200 to 300
Mhm.
things. I'm thankful and I'm grateful, like you said, very appreciative.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm happy to know my family. He does his best. I'll say that.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
does his best
Mhm.
on how to be a dad, how to be a father.
Yeah.
He does what
Yeah.
he knows is best.
Yep.
Doesn't necessarily mean that he's doing it right or
Mhm.
wrong. He just knows it is his best. So I
Yeah.
accept that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good way to put it and to sum it up.
Hmm.
Is there's a saying, you when you know better, you do
You
better.
do better. Yep.
And I think with us as young children, I think you're right that he did. I think it's a combination of he did the best that he could with the knowledge that he
Yeah.
had, and
Yep.
also with what he saw.
Yes. Yep.
Like the examples that he had.
Yep.
So, taking on deciding to be dad to two
Hmm.
kids that like he didn't have to.
Yeah. Yep.
There listen, as many men will walk away from children that are definitely theirs.
Hmm.
Like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
something to be said for that, right? So, I called him, I want to say like maybe a month and a half ago, because I hadn't heard from dad at all. And I was
Mhm.
like, I called him, I was like, because I called him and he like, if I felt like he sent me the voicemail, and I texted him, I said, "Are you ignoring my calls on purpose?"
Mhm.
And he was like, "No, no, I was busy or whatever." And so I talked to him. I said, "You alive? You kicking? You good? Because
That's
I ain't
my
hear
line.
nothing from you, sir.
Girl, I
I
say
ain't
the
nothing
same
from you,
thing.
because that we're not doing this."
I be like, "Are you alive today? Hello?" I do say that. That's so funny you said that.
Yeah, because he old. Like we gotta know this. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but
Like it's
like I
like
said,
that. Stay in touch with us.
because I called him yesterday. Like I said, I called him yesterday
Hmm.
or the day before. He didn't answer. So I
Hmm.
called his wife. She picked up. I said, "Where's Dad?" "Oh, he right there." "Why you ain't answer the phone? Now you want to talk in the background." Oh, oh, my ring is still off. Okay, Papa.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I definitely give him grace now because he just old. You know,
Yeah,
he got all his white hair. His hair is all
yes,
white. Like
yes,
he really an
yeah,
old man now.
yeah. We gotta
Um,
go down there together and bum rush them.
yes, we do.
'Cause I straight
We
went
do.
down there and bum rushed him twice. That was my
Yeah.
first time. I just
Mhm.
recently, after all the years he was down there, I
Mhm.
went to see him not last year, but the year before that. Christmas was the first time I ever been down there. I
Mhm.
just jumped on the plane and went down there because I just needed to see him.
Mhm.
I haven't seen him in so long. And
Yeah,
like
because
so
he doesn't even really take trips up here that much. The last time we were all together was that day, whatever. What was that Father's Day when we went to the buffet? Dad, love. Listen,
oh yeah. Yep.
I got to say this. Let me tell you
Mhm.
that
Like to eat.
Gregory Robinson Sr. loved himself a Chinese buffet.
Yes.
Okay,
I don't know what's that
the
about,
man
but I'm sick of it. And how about when I went down there, where did we go? To a
Chinese
freaking
buffet.
maybe it's the price. I'm like, "Is you cheap? It's the price going on here."
Listen, he's going to find himself a buffet because
Yes.
yeah, we going over because I had told him this was like a Father's Day where I was spending time with him and with my bio dad, and I said I'll do one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So I checked their schedules, and I was going to see him in the afternoon, or maybe it was the Saturday or whatever it was, and I said, "Where you
Mhm.
want to go to eat?" Like, I'm taking you. This Happy Father's Day. I'm a grown up. I have a job. I can take you to
Yes,
dinner, right? And
yes.
he's like, now I'm thinking he's gonna say like a steakhouse, This man said, I mean, I'm going over to the buffet. I said, okay, dad. I said, okay, dad. That's cool. If you happy at the
Yes,
buffet, okay.
then
We'll
I'm
just go
happy.
to the
Yes,
buffet.
with
Yeah.
with but
Yeah. Yeah.
yes.
But yeah, we definitely gotta go down. We gotta plan it.
We gotta
And
go there and just bum rush them.
what I want to highlight is that dad didn't come in with a lot of the tools
Mhm.
necessary to be like an ideal father, but he chose to be a father to children that were not biologically his because he loved us. He's always going to get credit for that from me,
Yeah. Yeah, of
you know,
course. Of
for the
course.
times that he was there and I needed, you know, eh,
Whatever.
what
Yeah,
yeah, like I'm grateful when
yeah.
he certainly was at all my stuff, like, you know, graduations, like all my big important stuff, he was there.
Mhm.
And so, I'm thankful for that because it mattered,
Yeah,
like it did
absolutely.
matter. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and he's got, I feel like every time we're around him and he tells, like you said, he tells the same, he does tell the same stories over and over,
Yeah.
but I feel like every time we're around him, he starts to tell a little bit more or another piece of the story. And
Mhm.
he has had a wild life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the fact that
That's
he's
why he gets a
overcome,
yeah, he gets a pass for a lot of things.
absolutely.
It's a pass.
Absolutely. Yeah, just dealing with the stuff he dealt with, coming from the place he comes from,
Yeah.
to get to the point where, like, he decides that, this is I'm not going to live like this anymore, and he literally just quits drugs. Like, like, I'm not going to do this anymore, and I'm going to straighten up my life, and just decides to do it.
Yeah, and
Um,
he did it, and he mastered it, like
that's
because he
it.
was
It's
very, very
been that.
successful after that.
Yep. Yep. Greg talks little Greg, as we call him, talks a lot of the times about how he can be around his siblings and stuff, and they Lord knows the Robinsons going to drink and stuff,
Mhm.
but like it
Yeah,
don't.
oh, yeah, it doesn't bother him, it doesn't affect him at
He's
all.
good. Like he made the decision, and I mean it's so impressive when it's like, yeah, I can't do that anymore. Like
Yeah.
that's not how
Yep,
I want to treat my body, and it's not how I
yep,
want to live anymore. So
yep.
yeah, he absolutely gets a lot of credit for being able to do that. It takes a strong person for sure, a lot of determination, and I'm grateful for him because
Mhm.
from the time I was like, I didn't have a dad until I was 6 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's my dad.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
And you're my sister, now my
and
brother.
that's it.
That's
That's
right.
it. Like this is a family. Like people say a lot of times, like you don't get to choose your family. In our
Yeah.
case, like we kind of did, because
Yeah.
even after dad made the choice, we could have very well been like, oh nah, like all right, you
Mhm.
over there, whatever. But no, like we
Mhm.
really are, we
Yep.
really are a family. Like I was talking to
Yep.
Greg the other day, and I was like, I said, yeah, Wezzy always showed for me. Like it was something that we were talking about, and
Mhm.
I was like, yeah, that's
That's right.
really really my family for real.
You, I don't know if you know this or not. You, Amanda, Junie are my heart. It's always been that way. I'm about to cry.
As we close the episode, maybe that's the gift that Dad gave us is the
Yes.
gift of each other.
Yes. And I'm very happy about
Yeah,
that.
yeah, really thankful.
Yes.
Sweet. So that is it for this episode of the Unbreakable Her podcast. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode. In the meantime, stay unbreakable.